we are living in a completely new world. A world that is so different, is so advanced. We've seen so many changes and so many advances in science and technology. Today, man goes to the moon, right? We build rockets and we go to the moon. We've gone to the moon, and actually, the latest thing now is there's a real mission to Mars. Have you heard about it? Who's heard that there are people wanting to go to Mars? You've heard about that? They're getting ready to go to Mars. And the funny thing is that it's a one-way ticket. In other words, those who go cannot come back. Would you believe that over 200,000 people applied to be a part of this mission? 200,000 people want to leave this earth for another planet that they know very little about. Of course, most of them are married people who see this as a huge opportunity to get away from their spouses. Can you imagine? They prefer to die a slow death on Mars. Maybe I'm being pessimistic, but I'm thinking this is suicide. But a lot of people, a lot of married people are leaving their spouse, their husband or wife behind to go on this mission from which they cannot come back. And I kept thinking, my God, some people are preferring suicide. They are preferring a slow death on an unknown planet to staying married. It's something to think about, right? And many people have applied, but the applications are now closed. They are not taking any more applications. They are shortlisting people. And the best hope you have now, if you want to fix your marriage, is the love school, right? People have associated the word love with what? With what? The heart. So much so that it's impossible nowadays to think of one and not picture the other in your mind. Is it true or not? Love and the heart have become synonyms. Basically one and the same. So, and here lies our problem. Right here. When people make this association between love and heart, this is at the root of so many problems in the love life. Why? Because the heart is basically doing a very bad job at relationships. Frankly speaking, the heart stinks at relationships. Even though you hear this message everywhere, in music, in the movies, in literature, you hear this message, follow your heart. Just follow your heart. Just do what your heart is asking you. The heart is doing some crazy stuff today. It's like one of the songs we heard just before we came on. How is that song, the famous song that said, "Hey, I just met you. I know it's crazy, but here's my number. So call me maybe." That's the kind of thing that the heart does. You see, they even say in the song, I know it's crazy, yes. At least they are honest to say it. It is crazy. You just met somebody, you give them your number. That's crazy. right? But that's the kind of stuff that the heart does. The heart stinks at relationships. It's terrible at this job. And that's why love is not working for a lot of people. Look around you. Look at all your friends, all your family, relatives. Look at the celebrities. Look around you. Love is not working for a lot of people. And it seems like we are going backwards, even though in science and technology we are going forward. When it comes to love, we are going backwards. Things are not getting better. And I'm an optimist. We were looking up at some statistics here in South Africa. What's happening in South Africa in the love life? First of all, marriages are not lasting. Divorce rates are very high. Marriages are not lasting very much. Actually, almost half of all divorces in South Africa, almost half of all divorces, you take all the people who filed for divorce, almost half of them, 50%, their marriage lasted under 10 years. 9 years to be exact. Statistics from Statistics South Africa. So marriage is not lasting. And even people who are staying married, they are not divorcing, many of them are living in unhappy marriages, unhappy relationships, because there is still a big stigma about divorce. A lot of people, they would like to divorce if they could, but they just have no other options. So they stay married, but very, very unhappy in relationships. So marriages are not lasting.
And many will just say, you know what? I'm not going to get married, but I'm going to have a child. Because a child will love me. A child will be faithful to me, will never leave me alone. And so the person goes by her feelings because she wants to be loved, and she brings a child to the world, a child who's not going to have a father figure, is not going to have a family. And many times that person doesn't have the time to bring up that child, to give time for that child, to teach that child, or even financial conditions. It's because of your heart, you make all these decisions without thinking.
Because the heart is so needy, it wants love so much.
Right now, it wants right now.
Doesn't matter where it comes from. Maybe from some guy that doesn't treat me right, but gives me a little bit of love. Or maybe if I have my own child, my child at least will love me. But the heart doesn't let the head think, that may be good for you, but is it good for the child to grow up without a father? So the heart does these things. The heart tells you, especially if you're young, like you're a teenager, you go to school, you're among your friends, and you see all these friends, these colleagues in your school. A lot of them have boyfriends, a lot of them have girlfriends. And if you don't have one, if you don't have a boyfriend, if you don't have a girlfriend, your friends start saying, hey, when are you going to get a boyfriend? When are you going to have a girlfriend? Is there something wrong with you? Or something like that. Right? People start putting pressure on you. And the heart tells you, hey, you got to do something and get a boyfriend. You got to do something, get a girlfriend, because otherwise you're not good enough. You're not good enough alone. You have to have somebody. And then you go off and make some decisions, some crazy decisions about having a partner.
And in the marriage too, right? Because we are talking about single people. But in the marriage, even in the marriage, the heart damages a lot of the relationship. You know, I remember a few of our problems, and they were all based on the heart because of how I felt. Back then, you know, the first half of our marriage, the first 10, 12 years of our marriage, I didn't have this understanding that we have today. And so whenever I felt, let's say, whenever I felt alone, you know, whenever I felt that my husband didn't notice the way I dressed, he didn't notice me, he didn't say anything, because before the marriage, the guy is so romantic, right? And the woman thinks like this usually. We think like this, well, he's going to be romantic for the rest of our lives together. Great, I'm going to marry this guy, and I'm going to get much more of this attention. But when you get married, that attention
kind of disappears.
Disappears. And he gets used to you, right? He gets used to you, and he doesn't say anymore. He doesn't compliment on your dress, on your hair, or anything like that anymore. And so I used to feel like, you know, I don't think he loves me anymore, because he doesn't say I love you, because he doesn't take the time to talk to me, you know, to sit down with me and say, how was your day? He doesn't do that anymore. I'm here trying to find out his day, you know, how was your day? And he's saying 2 words. I get nothing. He doesn't even ask about my day. So we start thinking, you know, the woman usually, she starts thinking, you know, maybe my husband doesn't love me anymore. Maybe I'm not attractive anymore. He doesn't show that love anymore. And it wasn't true, because my husband was faithful to me. He loved me all the way, all those 12 years that we had problem. You loved me. Mm-hmm. And he never did anything like bad. But there were moments that I thought he didn't like me.
So the heart is doing a terrible job at relationships. And what are we saying here? What are we advocating? What is the love school advocating? We are advocating that we must stop doing love with our heart. Don't let love throw you down. Love was not made to make you fall. It's to make you rise. So stand in love. Okay? If something about your love, about your relationship is throwing you down, that's not love. That's not the love from the brain. That's the love from the heart. The love from the brain lifts you up. So if you can work and solve the problems, you do. If you can't work and solve the problems, you're going to, if he's your boyfriend or girlfriend, you say, maybe we're not for each other. If it's husband or wife, you're going to have to work harder, because you're not going to give up on the first desire if things don't go well for you, the first thought. But don't fall in love. Don't let love throw you down. Stand in love. Is that clear? The third thing is, as we were saying, one of the consequences of the heart is that he sees a person and he wants to quickly go to bed with that person. So we say, stop sleeping around, and instead wake up to what's happening around you, to people who are sleeping around. Okay? Instead of sleeping around, wake up, smell the coffee, and see what's happening to people who have been sleeping around. They are dying. They're getting sick. They're getting hurt. They're destroying their families. It's not good. So wake up. Don't sleep around. Wake up to what's happening around you. And finally, I say to you, learn. Learn. Educate yourself on all matters of relationships. Educate yourself. Don't stop learning. The class today, the love school that you're attending today, is perhaps your first class ever on love. Let it not be your last. Let it not be the last time you give some thought to your love life. Let this be the beginning. Continue educating yourself on the matters of the brain, on the dangers of the heart, on the matters of relationship, how relationship works. Pay attention at good examples. Maybe your parents are these good examples. How did they do it? Maybe your parents don't have a good example. Find others. Find other couples who are doing marriage the right way and follow their example. Use your head. Okay? So educate yourself. The brain loves to learn. Don't let your brain be ignorant about love, right? The real love.
Don't let the brain starve.
Starve, exactly.
You know, you feed your heart by listening a lot to music, to gossips, to watching things, and just eating up what the world says about love. But your brain needs feeding. Because if you want your brain to control your heart, to be in control of your life, you have to feed your brain. You cannot let it be hungry all the time.
Did you know that over 50% of couples who get divorced regret not trying harder to save their marriage? No one gets married to later get a divorce, but sometimes it seems like there's no other option. Wait, you haven't tried everything. Bulletproof Marriage has already helped millions of couples all around the world to avoid separation. Even if one party isn't willing to change, or the relationship seems like a lost cause, give yourself this opportunity. Read this amazing book and shield your marriage against divorce. Buy the book on Amazon.com today. Imagine waking up one day to find that you married the wrong person, or that you lost your true love because you ruined your relationship, or that you'd missed it when that special person came into your life. For those who don't want to spend the rest of their lives regretting a bad decision, Bulletproof Dating is a must-read, no matter what stage of singleness you're in. Whether you're alone, waiting, dating, picking up the pieces of your broken heart, divorced, or widowed, this book will help you navigate the complicated world of modern relationships. Years of experience have given Renato and Cristiane authority to say that most divorces start during the dating phase. Bulletproof Dating is a manual for all ages and will open your eyes and show you practical actions you can take. It's time to learn intelligent love. Ebook available on Amazon.com and other online retailers.
Have you ever heard that most of our interpersonal communication is nonverbal? So if you say that you can't wait to see someone, while your body language communicates that you really wish you had an excuse not to, without realizing it, your body is speaking much louder than your words. Have you ever been upset with someone you love, not because of what they said, but because of how they said it? Just like body language, our tone of voice can communicate volumes and cause a great deal of misunderstanding in a relationship. Healthy communication skills are the foundation of any relationship, and especially in marriage. But research has documented how differently men and women communicate and interpret information. Do you know how your spouse sees you? Are you sure you know how to communicate with them? Are you saying the right words but sending all the wrong messages with your body language and tones of voice? Come to our Therapy of Love meeting for practical teaching on healthy communication in marriage. The Therapy of Love is a meeting for both married and single people who want to get smart about love and allow God to heal and rebuild their love lives. To learn with David and Evelyn Higginbotham in person, come to the Houston Universal Church at 7075 Southwest Freeway between Bel Air and Hillcroft every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Also, at every Universal Church location.